Welcome to the Bodhi Academy. Today we are going to solve PYQ question from subject biology and the name of the chapter is human reproduction. So the first question is list the different parts of human oviduct through which the ovum travels. So this is basically a human reproductive system. So now what we have to discuss is the different parts of the human oviduct. So oviduct is basically the fallopian tube. So this region of the uterus forms the fallopian tube, wherein the fallopian tube will consist of the first is the ovary, then this is the finger-like projection which will receive the egg called as the fimbriae. Then there is infundibulum. So this is a narrow opening which will here the egg will be received and then it will travel from the infundibulum. Then it will travel the ampulla and then to the isthmus. So isthmus is the region where the actual fertilization will occur. That is, the egg will be released from the ovary, which will travel from here. This is the region of the fallopian tube, wherein the egg will remain and the sperm will fertilize the egg. So this region is the region where the actual fertilization will happen. So the region of the fallopian tube are fimbriae, infundibulum, ampulla and the isthmus. So these are the region that falls under the female oviduct, that is the fallopian tube. So the second question is describe the structure of female reproductive system. So this is the structure of female reproductive system. The female reproductive system consists of the pair of ovaries. So the left and the right ovaries. Then there is the uterus, which is made up of three layers: the perimetrium, myometrium and the endometrium, which is the inner layer. Then there is opening vagina, then vaginal canal, cervix. So this part is called the cervix, the middle part is called the cervical canal and the opening is called as the vagina. Then the main part, that is the fallopian tube. So the release of the egg which is released during each cycle, it will travel to this pipe-like structure into the uterus for the implantation. So this part is called as the fallopian tube or the female oviduct. So this part consists of four parts, that is fimbriae, infundibulum, ampulla and the isthmus. So this makes up the complete female reproductive system. So the next question is write a note on fertilization and implantation. So what is fertilization? Fertilization is basically the union of the male and the female gametes. So over here, the male gamete will be the sperm plus the female gamete will be the egg or the ova. So how this thing happens? So fertilization, the concept of fertilization is basically union of sperm and the ova, and implantation start after the fertilization process. So let us look into the process of implantation now. So every month one egg is released from each ovary. So if in this month egg is released from this ovary, in the second month the egg will be released from the other ovary. So when the egg is released from the ovary, it travels into the fallopian tube and it will reach the isthmus region, wherein the sperm will meet the egg and the process of fertilization will occur here. After the process of fertilization, so this is fertilization. After fertilization, that is after the union of the egg and the sperm, what happens is there is division. So division of of the cells. So this is the cell nucleus of the ova and the nucleus of the sperm will be fused and then they will divide to form two nuclei. After that, they will again re-divide to form four nuclei. After that, a morula will be formed, which is a 8 nuclei cell. So this will be 8 nucleated cell, which is called as the morula. So this process starts from the isthmus, then it will travel down into the uterus. And as it is traveling down the uterus, it is undergoing these specific changes. That is, from after fertilization it will form two cells, then it will divide to form four cells, then it will divide to form the morula, which is a eight nucleated cell. Then after morula, the next step is it will form a blastocyst, which is a 16 nucleated cell, which will be which will reach here, and then it will start to implant. So after this cell, the implantation process will start, and then this blastocyst will form into a fetus, and then that fetus will develop that embryo, which is that it will develop into a fetus, and then the proper development of the fetus will happen inside the female reproductive system, that is the uterus. So let's move to the next question. So the next question is, name and explain the role of inner and the middle wall of human uterus. So this is the human female reproductive system. So here the uterus consists of three layers, that is the perimetrium, myometrium and the endometrium. So the middle layer is called as the middle layer is called as the myometrium. So this myometrium is the middle layer of the uterus, and what is the function, what is the role of this? It helps in creating contraction and pain during the delivery of the baby, and hence the baby can be delivered. So this lies in the middle of the uterus. So this consists of smooth muscle cells, smooth muscle tissues. So that is why it can cause, or it can create contractions which will help in the delivery of the fetus. Second is the, so this is the first. Second is the endometrium. So endometrium is the inner layer. So inner layer of the uterus is called as the endometrium. Endometrium is basically, it is a lining for the baby to develop inside the uterus. So this will thicken the uterus wall so that it can provide a comforting environment for the baby to develop inside the uterus. So if the pregnancy does not occur, it is then shred off in form of menstrual cycle. So this is the endometrium wall will collapse if the egg is not fertilized, and then it will be passed out through the vagina as menstrual flow. So let's move to the next question. Name the various accessory glands in human male reproductive system. So the various accessory glands in the male reproductive system is the testes, wherein the sperms are produced. Then the vas deferens, which helps in the transport of the sperms from the testes to the penis, and the bulbourethral gland, and the prostate. So this is the prostate, and below the prostate is the bulbourethral gland. So these are the male accessory male accessory organs in the male reproductive system. So let's move to the next question. Draw the structure of sperm. So the sperm consists of three main parts: the head, the middle piece and the tail. So these are the three main parts of the sperm. So this part is called as the plasma membrane, which consists of a secretion called as the acrosomes, which helps in the penetration of the sperm inside the ovum. Then this region will consist of the genetic material, that is DNA. So this head region consists of plasma membrane. Then inside the plasma membrane there is a secretion called as the acrosomes, which helps in the penetration of the sperm inside the ovum. Then in the head is the genetic material, that is the DNA, which will fuse with the genetic material of the egg to in during the process of fertilization. Then this is the neck part, and inside the middle piece. So this becomes the neck part, and then inside the middle piece there are mitochondria, which is a cell organelle, which is also called as the powerhouse of the cell, is present in the middle piece. So why is this present here? So mitochondria, as we all know, that it is a cell organelle which helps in production of energy, and the movement of the sperm requires energy so that it moves through the vagina into the fallopian tube for the fertilization process. So that is why it requires energy, which is produced from the mitochondria, which is present inside the middle piece of the sperm. Then the tail. So the tail region of the sperm helps in the movement of the sperm. The sperm has to swim through the vagina into the fallopian tube for the process of fertilization, and for the to facilitate that process, the sperm consists of a tail. So that is why a sperm, the basic structure of a sperm will have a head, which consists of the plasma membrane, acrosome, and the genetic material DNA. Then the middle piece, neck. The middle piece will consist of mitochondria, which will produce the energy which is required by the sperm for the movement. Then the tail for the movement of the sperm. So these are the three major parts of a sperm with the function. So let's move to the next question. So the next question is, what is parturition? So parturition is the process of giving birth. So this is the last step of pregnancy, wherein after the fetus is completely developed, it needs to be expelled out of the uterus. So this process is called as parturition. So during parturition, there are different physiological changes which happens in the uterus. That is dilation of the cervix, wherein the dilation is basically the opening of the cervix, wherein the cervix will open so that the fetus is expelled out. Then the expulsion of the fetus. So due to the contraction of the uterus wall, the fetus is expelled out. Then expulsion of the placenta. So after the fetus is removed from the uterus, the placenta which is there, which is a nutritive tissue, which is a connection between the fetus and the mother, will be also removed out from the uterus. So these are the steps which occurs during parturition, that is delivery of the baby. That is dilation of the cervix, expulsion of the fetus, and expulsion of the placenta. Let's move to the next question. So the next question is, differentiate between Leydig cell and Sertoli cell. So basically, Leydig cells are found in the interstitial tissues, both in seminiferous tubules in the testes. So they are found in the interstitial tissues of the seminiferous tubules. Sertoli cells are found within the seminiferous tubules lining. So they are found within the seminiferous tubule lining. What they do is they help support the development of the sperm cells. So the initial sperm cells which are there, this Sertoli cells will help in the development of the initial sperm cells. Then Leydig cell helps in the production of testosterone hormone. So this is the male hormone which is produced by the Leydig cell. So Leydig cell helps in the production of the testosterone hormone. Then Sertoli cells basically helps in the nourishing the developing cells, sperm cells. So Sertoli cells helps in the giving nourishment to the developing sperm cells. So this is the difference between Leydig cell and the Sertoli cell. That is, Leydig cell are found in between the seminiferous tubule, interstitial cells of the seminiferous tubules. They are found within the seminiferous tubules. Here, Leydig cell will help in production of the male hormone, that is testosterone, and Sertoli cell will help in the giving nourishment to the developing sperm cells. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, what is the function of Leydig cell? So Leydig cells are basically cells which are found in the interstitial tissues, both seminiferous tubules in the testes. So they are found in the interstitial tissues of the seminiferous tubules inside the testes. Then what they help in? The function is they help in production of the testosterone hormone. So testosterone is the male hormone, so they will help in the secretion of the male hormone, that is testosterone. So why this testosterone hormone is important? So this testosterone hormone is important for the development of the male sexual characters. So what are the male sexual characters? So the male sexual characters are basically facial hair, then chest hair, then development of the male reproductive part, then widening of the chest, then deepening of the voice, so their voice become deep. So these are some characters that which are the male sexual characters which are promoted by the hormone testosterone, which is secreted by or which is produced by the Leydig cell. So that is why Leydig cell is very important, because they will help in the production of the male hormone testosterone, which will help in the development of the male characters in a male. So that is why Leydig cells are very important, and this is the function of the Leydig cell. So the last question for today is, give the function of corpus luteum. So corpus luteum is basically, it is a temporary endocrine structure which forms the follicle after ovulation. So after the ovulation, what happens is this forms a temporary structure and it will form the follicle around the ovule. So this, why it is important? It helps in the production of female hormone, that is progesterone. So this progesterone is important for development of the female sexual characters. So that is why corpus luteum is very important. So this is the function of corpus luteum. That is, it is a temporary endocrine structure which will help in production of the follicle after ovulation. And why it is important? Because it will help in secretion of the female hormone, that is progesterone, which will help in development of the female sexual characters. So thank you for watching today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to the Bodhi Academy.